those things you think are not connected to autism, it turns out like kids can have autism and can also be really social.
Highly functioning.
Right.
And everything. Hi guys! Okay, I'm so excited. We're here with Anna Stapley. She is one of my friends from like at least 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
Like I met her when I started college in Boston in 2008, I think was the year.
Yeah.
So it's been like super long. But she lives like an hour away from me, and I knew she would be a really great mom to have on this first episode of my new series because you can't be loud, you gotta be quiet. We have kids all over the place and cats, and so this is gonna be an exciting one. But guys, this is real life, and this is what I wanted to show. Whoa, and we got full diapers. We've got diapers filling up, we've got snacks. So yes, this is Anna, and I just wanted to kind of do an initial, oh my gosh. He is filling his pants. Now you're gonna be stinky the whole time. Huh? Okay, Anna, tell us a little bit, just to start out, like tell us kind of your like motherhood story, or just like how you and your husband met, or like when you got married, and just that whole situation, and like the progression from getting married to having kids.
Yeah. We got married like by, I think regular standards, pretty young.
Yeah.
I was 20, Steve was 22. So we were like young. We were babies when we got married.
Oh my gosh. We got married at the same time, and I thought I like knew everything.
Yes.
And I was like, this is gonna be perfect. And then I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, I hardly even knew you.
Right? So we got married really young, and we were in kind of an older neighborhood, and all of our neighbors were always like, when are you guys having kids? When are you guys having kids?
Yeah.
But I think we were really lucky because we got that like 5 good years before our daughter was born, where it was just the two of us to really like get to know each other and kind of like.
Did you say 5 years?
5 years.
Oh
yeah.
wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so we just had all that time to kind of get to know each other, and so I think I knew I was ready for kids before Steve was ready.
Mm-hmm.
He was like still in college when I was like let's do this, let's get pregnant. And I was the worst person during pregnancy because I loved being pregnant.
Oh.
Like I didn't have heartburn, I barely had morning sickness. I just
see,
was
it's
like,
so nice to know people are out there like that. That's how I was with his pregnancy. I like was gearing up to be sick, and I like wasn't sick at all. I had like heartburn and a couple things, but like really not that bad.
Yeah.
Like it was awesome.
And then I was also like super like I am having no like medical interventions during my like childbirth. I'm not having like painkillers or anything like that. Like
That
no
was the
epidural.
plan.
Literally, it couldn't have gone better.
And you
like,
didn't use the pain.
And I
meds. You
didn't have
use
an epidural.
Oh my
no.
gosh. Yay! I love success stories like that because you hear like all the ones you hear are like the horror stories of pregnancy and delivery, and so it's always so nice to hear someone's like, yeah, like this is my plan. I stuck to my plan. It was obviously hard, but we did it, and the baby is here.
Yeah. Roland was like the complete opposite. Like hated being pregnant the whole time. Like by the time I got to my
you're like, this is gonna be the best. I love being pregnant.
Yeah. and I just like hated it.
I just wanted to get those introductions out there. So, and then real quick, tell us about like you as a person, not just you as a mom, like college education, or like hobbies, things like that. What do you do as just your own female person?
Well, I graduated college with a degree in writing and literature, and I love reading. Like reading's one of my favorite things. I'm super into like crafting. I'm like halfway through.
Yeah, I saw on your crafting stuff.
I'm halfway through.
What kind of crafting are you selling? Something?
I'm making a Christmas quilt.
Oh, fun!
It's so cute. I love it. And then I'm also like super into true crime.
Oh yeah.
So like there's like a few podcasts that I love listening to.
Tell us what they are.
And so one of my favorites is My Favorite Murder.
Okay.
Which is like 2 women. They're hilarious. It's like a little there's like some swear words and like it's not super.
It's a little explicit.
Yeah, but it's really funny. It's really good. And then Criminal is really good.
Okay.
And Crime Junkies. Those are 2 of my other favorites. So I help admin the like My Favorite Murder Seattle Murderinos Facebook group.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It's
So you're
really
like,
fun.
is it like a little community here? Do you guys like do meetups or something?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's really fun.
That's fun.
I feel like, especially people with like anxiety, like for me, hearing the stories and then like hearing how people either got away or hearing what happened, like it helps me like plan like what I would do if I was in that situation. And it helps me like lessen my anxiety about it. Like,
that's funny, because I feel like most women would take it the complete opposite. Like, it would give them more anxiety because they know there's people out there doing those things.
Yeah.
That's really a funny take on it. That's hilarious.
But it helps my anxiety. Like, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. So you got your podcast, got your true crime.
Yeah. And I feel like my job right now is to like support all of my friends who are super great at doing art. So, like all of your projects. I love seeing the projects that you come up with. Like creative endeavors. I just don't have the capacity to and focusing so much on Roland. I feel like most of my energy is focused on Roland right now and trying to get him communicating a little bit more and trying to figuring out like.
Tell us about his situation, if you don't mind.
Yeah. So at 18 months, funny enough, I was worried about Sophie's speech because I thought that she wasn't speaking as clearly as she needed to be. So we went to the doctor. Roland was 18 months old, and the doctor was like, Sophie's fine. Roland's not talking. And I just hadn't, because he was
18 months?
18 months old.
Because, like, my kid's 18 months, nothing. Like,
right.
And then I knew, like, with Piper, she was, like, saying maybe one word by the time she was 2. And so whenever the doctor said that, I was like, don't, like, I'm sure it's fine. Like, they're gonna learn. They're gonna grow. But, like, so at 18 months, they were already, like, serious about it.
So he didn't babble.
Okay.
So most kids,
so like nothing.
Yeah. They like, even Brady like babbled when he was like lying there. Roland just didn't babble. He didn't babble. He didn't say like mama or dada consistently or at all. Like,
like
he just,
hello.
He didn't even wave. Like nothing.
Okay.
And so she was like, I just want you to talk to a speech therapist and see what they say.
Yeah.
And part of the reason was that he would scream all the time. So he was just screaming constantly. And it was like definitely frustrating, but these kinds of things you just start to get used to.
Totally.
And you don't even think that it's abnormal. You just like, that's just kids, they just scream. Yeah. So we started speech therapy, and it didn't go very well at first. A lot of the techniques just gave us
Who's got a thumbs up?
a lot of the techniques that they gave us, Roland he didn't really click with them. And then at 2, we had our follow-up appointment with the doctor, and our doctor was like, well, he screened positively for autism.
Oh, what do they screen for? Just like a
yeah, so there's a checklist that they go through, and it's not like screening positively isn't a diagnosis.
Oh, okay.
But it's just like hey, this is on the list of things that could be going on. He has a lot of like repetitive behavior, so he spins a lot.
Oh.
He like does the head shaking. So he just has some like, some of those kind of indicators that could mean autism. But he's also, we had never thought about it because he's also like incredibly social, and he makes lots of eye contact and all that kind of stuff. But like those things you think are not connected to autism, it turns out like kids can have autism and can also be really social.
Highly functioning
and
everything. Yeah.
Exactly. And so we just didn't think, that was kind of like a very unexpected. Like, did not think that was gonna happen.
Was that hard, or did you guys kind of like soak that in quickly?
Yeah, I went from a doctor appointment right to our speech therapy. So right after the doctor was like, we think, he screened positively for autism. Yeah. We went to we had our speech therapy appointment right afterwards.
Okay.
And I just sat on the couch and cried.
Aww.
And we had it's less that I don't want my kid to have autism. Like, if he has autism, like, we'll do it. We'll make it happen, whatever.
Yeah.
It's more like, I don't want my kid to be bullied. Like, I don't want him to be different. I don't want him to, have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And so our health insurance doesn't cover any kind of testing for that. So we ended up getting his hearing tested just to make sure that that wasn't his speech. Like, it wasn't being affected by his hearing, but we ended up having to, pay fully out of pocket for it because our insurance doesn't cover it until he's 3. And we'd have to pay out of pocket for the autism, the actual test that they do. And so we were like, well, let's hold off because it's thousands of dollars. And just continue with his speech therapy. And he's finally been seeing some improvement. But the interesting thing is that he doesn't actually have any words, but his communication surrounding words has improved so much. I think kind of every time we get this new thing, it's just frustrating and it's hard, and you just want your kid to be happy and you want your kid to be not bullied. That's the main thing. Like, we're scared he's gonna get, but what if he doesn't speak? He's such a sweet boy, and he's so funny, and he's so lovely. Like, he gives the biggest hugs. He always gives kisses. He loves, like, fist bumps and all this kind of stuff. Like, I just want him to be, like, happy and loved and stuff.
Yeah, you want people to see, like, these awesome parts of him, not, like, the one thing that, he doesn't talk as much. Like, that's one thing that everyone's gonna just latch on to and not see the good parts, but... Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I know that can be super vulnerable just to talk about your kids like that, and So part of this show is I just want to get an idea of how you manage your home. But I have like these 10 questions I thought would be fun to kind of get us to know you a little bit better. And so early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Night owl, me too. What's your go-to breakfast for you?
Oh, for me?
Yes, not for kids,
okay.
for you.
Scrambled eggs. That's my favorite.
How often do you eat it?
Like, every other day, maybe.
Yeah, really? Okay, cool. Who drives when you're all in the car?
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, see, that's different. I knew it was going to be different because Zach's always the one to drive.
Well, so someone has to drive and someone has to watch the kids, right?
Yeah.
And if I turn around, I get car sick.
I do too.
Yeah.
Well, when we're on like long trips, it's like I'm like constantly like I'm like, okay, I gotta like not twist around for like give me a minute.
Yeah.
That's
so
funny.
I can't be like turning around to help the kids out because I just like get nauseous and then I get grumpy.
Okay. Cooking or eating out?
Cooking.
Cooking. You like to
Yeah.
What do you like to cook? And you're vegetarian, and so you probably cook a lot because
I think our whole family I think we like to call ourselves like vegetarian light, and then I'll still cook meat for like Steve, whatever. But for the most part, I think throughout the week we eat fairly vegetarian. Yeah, all of us.
Caffeine or candy?
Caffeine.
Yeah. What's your go-to?
That's embarrassing.
What?
Peach Red Bulls.
Oh, that's not embarrassing. That's legit though. Like, when do you drink those? Like, how often?
Not often.
Okay.
I don't drink them every day. But like, if I really have to get stuff done, and it's been a rough night,
you're like, give me that Red Bull.
It's a peach Red Bull.
That's hilarious. I don't think I've had Red Bull more than like a couple sips from like some guys, but that's interesting. I like never heard of that, but you love your Red Bull. I appreciate that.
Well, I don't like the original Red Bull.
Okay, it has to be peach.
It has to be the peach edition.
Okay.
Which they don't always have at the store.
Okay.
They have a 12-pack on Amazon.
Do you like crash hard?
No.
You don't?
Maybe. I think I crash hard every night. If I sit down,
you take it like in the afternoon. So like, but if you crash, it's just like time for bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pick up, delivery to your house, or go into the grocery store.
I have to go into the grocery store.
Yeah. How come?
Because I am super thrifty.
Okay.
And I can't pay for someone to deliver my groceries to me.
No, totally.
Which means that, like, I really wish that I wasn't like that because, like, it was, like, what, $4?
Yeah.
And
mine is $5 to, like, pick up.
Right. Yeah. And you go in there and you're gonna buy, like, $5 more of stuff that you wouldn't get anyway.
That's totally true. If you weren't in your car, like, not.
So I really should. I really should.
No, you don't need to, because also I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you just have to go in to make sure you're getting like all the things you didn't put on your list.
Right.
Even though it's like a bad habit, whatever.
Right.
But yeah, so sometimes I like to go in. Plus, like, my kids are pretty good in the store, and so it's not like my worst nightmare to have to take my kids into the store.
My kids are nightmares.
Your kids are nightmares. What is something like within your motherhood and like homemaking and things, what's something that you're super good at that you feel like you've just either over time learned how to do really well and you've nailed it, or you just like caught on to really quickly?
I think I'm really good. I think I'm really in tune with my kids, like with their emotional well-being, like how they're doing. So I think I'm really good at, like, if something's going on, just drop everything, focus on the kids.
Another question I wanted to ask the moms on the show is, how do you manage like the decor style feel of your home?
Yeah. So I read this book called Nature Fix.
Okay.
It's all about how, like, being in nature helps us, like, stay connected to who we are as humans.
Okay.
And it, like, helps alleviate, like, depression and all that kind of stuff. So, like, plants are not just decorative for me. I feel like it's a way of bringing nature, like, inside. But also my color scheme is very, like, neutral. I want it to be calming. And then also I'm not great at keeping a clean house. Like, my house might be tidy, it's not necessarily clean all the time.
Gotcha.
And I just try not to let that stress me out because I want to focus on, like, with being with my kids. I want to focus on spending time with them. And I have some friends that are amazing at keeping their houses clean and are also amazing moms. Yeah. And, like, that's the balance that
like,
works
that's
for
part
them.
of, like, that's, like, is soothing to them is to, like, clean. I have a friend like that who she, like, it's like her space is to just like scrub things.
Yeah,
it's like,
if your self-care is clean.
Come to my house.
Right.
I asked Anna to have us be in her like favorite part of her house for the interview, so she loves this room.
Yeah, this is my favorite room.
And I'm loving like your bookshelves. Like if I could choose, I would just have like bookshelves lining like every wall.
100%.
So I'm digging this right now.
Thanks.
I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely my like aesthetic. It's like books and plants.
Yeah.
Cats and children.
Nice. I think we're just gonna like wrap it up with that, but just like thanks for letting me like barge into your home.
Yeah, of course.
And like set up all my crap and then like on a Monday morning, guys.
Yeah.
Anna's so great because she's so supportive of her friends. But yeah, and thanks for being so open with your kids and things. It's been super enlightening, and I'm sure there are just like so many moms out there who are dealing with these things, and it's gonna be super helpful for them. Guys, this was so fun. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you do all the things. Subscribe, like, share this. Check it all out. Check out my Instagram. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time.